Welcome to a special edition of the Legacy League's post-game show. We had a great week of basketball. We had some incredible great games. We had the matchup everyone was waiting for, Run TMC versus the Flint Tropics. I got 3 rings and Racine with me. Chris Rudzinski, of course. And, we're excited to get into this. We might have some special guests along the way. Never know. Stay tuned. But I'm just going to hop right into it because I think we need to just get right into what everyone's here to talk about, and that is the Flint Tropics Run TMC. And Flint Tropics took a dub in this one. Joey was not happy with the result, but, it is what it is as Flint wins 80-71. I'm going to kick it to, you know what? I'm going to go Racine Chris, but I think I should start with Chris and then go to Racine for this one because I think Chris should get the first word. What'd you see in this one, Chris? Flint TMC, it's an age-old matchup.
Honestly, I think Quan Jackson was the standout in this game. I think he really took this thing over, and obviously, Reggie did his thing. Eric was maybe a little rusty, 4 for 12. But yeah, Flint did what Flint does, and they won a regular season game. I don't really have much else to say about this one. I know you want a big speech from me, but it'll come when they blow it in the finals or the semifinals.
Hey, very fair. Hey, look, Flint Nation, we got the dub, we do what we do, but Chris is right. We're looking forward to the playoffs and beyond. But Racine, this is your first year watching this league. Flint TMC, this was a great game. This was a really good basketball game. It was competitive. I know it's 80-71 and the final score, but it was close most of the game.
TMC was up by 20 or something, right? Early?
They were up 21-4. And Racine, you were right there watching. What'd you see when it was a 21-4 lead?
Yeah, like you said, they started off 21-24. I said to you, I was like, it had me worried up there in the first half because they were not making any shots. And TMC, they were knocking down all their shots, got off to a great start. But like Chris said, TMC Flint, they just do what they did. They make their threes. And Quan Jackson, I really like the way he played. He's being very aggressive. His shot wasn't falling early, and then that's how it turned out in the end. And then Mike Bizzuto contributed 19, Matt Fink with 19. So both the whole team is just a great team win. And then, as for TMC, I would have liked to see Eric Langston play a little more. I just don't think that maybe he's just not in shape just yet. He's just coming back. So hopefully he can see more. And then I think Reggie Stewart played well. He had 21, but ultimately it just wasn't enough. But, I picked Flint to win the game, and they played really well.
They did. And I'm with Chris. I want to give a shout out to Quan Jackson. I think Quan Jackson is probably the most underrated player in this league. He took that mantle a while ago. Fun fact about Quan Jackson, he's never shot under 70% from the field in this league, which is pretty crazy because he averages 24 a game. He averages 8 rebounds a game, and he averages 6 assists per game. He low-key is having an MVP season, and he probably is going to be on my Legacy first team because I know Matt Fink, I know Mike Bizzuto, but he's been their most consistent player. Matt Fink, not for nothing. Matt, love Matt. He's my guy. He didn't have a great game. 42% from the field. He shot 4 of 9 from 3, which is solid. He had a great. He does what he does. He's a stat guy. He'll get a bunch of rebounds, a bunch of assists. He's a phenomenal basketball player. But usually he's more efficient. And Quan Jackson is just such an incredible player out there. What he can do on the basketball court on the defensive side of the ball and also on the offensive side of the ball. And I know he loves playing against these guys like Eric and Reggie and Pratt and Scave and these guys. Like, you can tell he loves it. And it really gave Flint a different dynamic when they added him. Obviously, again, Matt Fink, and MVP, their best player. But Quan Jackson, what he gave to the Flint Tropics, he just another level, and you saw it in this game.
I got something to add. I'll go out on a limb here, and I will say I think Quan Jackson is Flint's best player. I think he's their most athletic player.
Very fair. It's very fair.
I just don't think he's obviously not the best shooter on the team, and I think when you could hit threes, especially in today's day and age, it kind of sticks out. But speaking of hitting threes, I think if Run TMC is going to avenge this loss in the playoffs, I think it's on the shoulders of former MVP on the other side in Davon Pratt. I think I'm gonna call him out right here, and I need more than 12 points out of you, buddy, if you play Flynn again. or else I don't know. I don't think you guys have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. Like, Reggie only had 3 threes. Reggie was great from the field, just 3 of 9 from three. Eric, I mean, like Racine said, he's coming back and a little rusty. But the problem is when you on Legacy, and Eric will be fine. He's gonna get in his flow and he'll do his thing. But he was 3 of 11 from three. You could tell he was just putting too much on it. Every time it was either short or just a little too much aioli, as I always say. I mean, it's just he'll get there, but it just looked like they just were a little off. Eric Singleton had a really bad game. I mean, 3 of 12 from the field, 0 of 4 from three. I mean, again, these guys that are usually very efficient just weren't. And honestly, Miles Raymond played pretty good. He held his own out there, and I was impressed by him. But I just think Run TMC they'll be back. They'll bounce back. I mean, it's Run TMC. They're going to do their thing. They got NLMB next week and then Lux Gang, and I think NLMB is looking for a big win. It's going to be a tough game next week because Run TMC is going to be not happy. And we all know Reggie. Reggie, after a loss like that, he's probably going to drop like 40, 10, and 15 or something. That's what he does. But, yeah, I mean, it was a great game. And I think I think we all agree it's probably going to be the finals matchup. If you had to put your whole bank account right now down, I'd probably put it on those two teams. Either you got anything else? You got anything else you want to add? Flint TMC was a great one.
I think you're right. I think we're on a crash collision course for the finals here, and I think, like I was just saying, I think it's going to come down to a couple of these Yaga boys to help them get over the hump.
Yeah. I think right now, sure, you could say TMC, but they need Eric Langston down the stretch because it can't just be Reggie Stewart. And if Eric can't get to the level he was playing last week, I forget who they were playing, but then I think Get Money, they're there. I'm still really high on them. I think they're really there, just a little level below between TMC and Flint, but after TMC and Flint, I think Get Money is right there.
Yeah, no, and speaking of Get Money, this is a great segue by Racine right there because Get Money absolutely. I mean, I don't even know what adjective should I use for this game. 77-39, Get Money over Enterprises Elite. I want to give a shout out to Kevin Horder, as I forget someone called him that, and it is too funny because he looks just like him, and he's playing a lot better recently. And I'm just gonna get his real name because I don't want to, I don't want to disrespect him, but I believe it's Cole Pezzenti. And shout out to Cole because this kid was playing his heart out there. Absolute heart. Actually, I believe it's Vincent Callahan. It might be Vincent Callahan, but regardless, I'm doing him wrong. It is Vinny. Shout out to Vincent Callahan. Vincent Callahan, I want to tell you about this sequence of what he did in this game. So they're down by 20. I want to say 23 points. And one of the Get Money players is driving to the hole. It's just him and one-on-one, just him and Vinny. And this kid blocks him at the rim, right? Screaming, running down the court. Hits another floater. Screaming like, come on now, we got this. And like he's doing his whole thing out there. And, they ended up losing by, a lot. And they didn't really come back ever. But I just want to give them credit for still trying and having fun. I've been on a lot of teams that lost a lot. It's not fun when you're losing. And I just got to give them credit for really fighting out there and doing their thing. And that's kind of all I wanted to say on that one. I mean, I don't know if either you guys saw anything in this one that you really want to mention, but I mean, Tyshee McCrae's having a great year. Xavier McCrae's having a phenomenal year. I mean, DeMar Whitaker really broke out in this one. I mean, look, get money's Get Money. They're going to smack the bad teams and play the really good teams close. I agree with what Racine said. They're another team that could be there for the championship. But yeah, I mean, if either I don't know what else really to say on this matchup other than Enterprise Elite. Just keep fighting, keep pushing, do your thing.
No KD and still won by 40. So I mean, what else? Maybe they would have scored 100 if he was there. I mean, that's the only thing I would just say. Only 77 points against Enterprises Elite. Maybe that's the thing we talk about.
It could be fair. Maybe they took their foot off the gas and were just like,
I don't know.
But.
I feel bad.
I mean, but shout out Enterprise Elite, man. Josh Browdy, I mean, 21 and 8 of 15 shooting. He had a pretty good game. Shout out Josh Browdy.
They keep showing up, man. We've seen teams quit this league and stop going. And
that's why I wanted to give them love. Yeah, so keep fighting.
I respect them. Keep showing up.
Yeah,
I mean,
Respect.
Flint put up 180 points on them last week.
Flint beat them 168 to 96.
Yeah.
So that
Hey,
was.
they scored 96 points against Flint. Maybe their defense isn't that good. I don't know.
You know what it is? They don't give up. They just try. They just do not give up, and that's what I respect about them. But now we're gonna get into a really good game, and that was another game that could have been game of the week, honestly, and that was Snipe Squad versus NLMB. And look out, Snipe Squad is one of those stocks that your crazy friend told you to buy in 2018, and now it's worth $100,000, and you could have been on a yacht right now because Snipe Squad's 4-2. And Snipe Squad, their last two games, Snipe Squad plays Enterprise Elite next week, so they're I'm going to say they're going to win that one. So 5-2, Snipe Squad, right? Snipe Squad plays the Street Ballers week 8. If they beat the Street Ballers and Get Money plays Lord's Army and the Syndicate, they're going to win out. Never mind. I don't see Get Money losing those games. Either way, Snipe Squad could end this year with 2 losses, and I don't think anyone saw that coming. So I want to give them some credit. This was a crazy game. Snipe Squad was actually down. I want to say about 14 or maybe 11 in this one. They were down for a lot of this game, and they kept fighting. Tim Case is one of the best offensive players. All right, I'm going to do a throwback here, and I'm going to kick it to Racine really quick. But Chris, you know who Tim Case reminds me of? Greg Daniels, LG. The way he plays reminds me of LG. He just attacks the rim. Yeah, no. He plays like me in 2K, I'll tell you that. But he just so Racine and people that don't know, this guy just attacked the rim. Incredible player, and he played on one of Chris's teams. And Tim Case plays that way. He plays angry, and he gets mad at the refs and mad at everyone, and he scored 31 on 11 of 14 shooting, hit his only 3. Also, for the record, he's 8 of 11 from the free throw line. That's big in this league. So I'm going to go to Racine, and then Chris, if you got anything, let me know. Racine, what did you see in Snipe Squad and LMB?
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been high on Snipe Squad at all this year, and against NLMB, they completely proved it wrong. Like you said, NLMB, I think they were up literally the whole game up until late fourth quarter, where they finally were able to pull back, and then NLB, they actually were able to get back into the game, but went to the free throw line down 3. But unfortunately, Dante Hodge, I think he missed the second free throw. Yeah. They're down 1, unfortunately. But they actually had a really great shot at the end. I think it was Christian Dessou. He had a 3 in the corner, literally almost went in. But this was a flat-out choke by NLMB. If you want to win games down the stretch, you got to close down games like that. But great effort from Snipe Squad. You guys have proven me wrong. Continue to keep playing the way you are.
Yeah, Chris, I got a question for you. 3-time champion over there. What advice would you give to a team like Snipe Squad that they're going to be new? They're going to be playing in a high pressure playoff game where they're going to be the team that's maybe 5-2, maybe 5-3, maybe 6-2 in the playoffs at the end of the year. Like, what advice would you give them? There's going to be some big games coming up. They're finally not the hunted.
All right, so if you're playing TMC, let's say, do not talk shit. Don't get these guys going. Go in and play your game and shut the fuck up. For lack of better words, sorry for the kid listeners out here. Just don't. If you could get in there and kind of punch them in the mouth and don't talk about it, you could beat them. Because they're athletic, they're young. Some of these guys are old. For lack of, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, these guys have been around for a while. They're all in their 30s.
Snipe Squads are frat.
Yeah, these are some young, almost college kids, I would say. So if you guys can come out and get a 10-point lead right out of the gate, but because as soon as you open your mouth to Pratt and Eric Langston and Reggie and these guys, or probably even on Flint with Quan and Bizzuto, if you could get these guys before they wake up almost, and not wake them up, you could beat them. I'd say that's my advice: is don't open your mouth too early.
Yeah, I got something to say for NLMB.
Yep.
I want to see more from Gregory Clay. I want them to use him more. I don't know, he's like Eric Langston. I don't know how you can stop him. He's just too big. So I would like them to use him a lot more. And, double teams are going to start to come if you can't stop him. And that leaves open to shooters like Christian Dessou, Dante Hodge. So I would like to see more from Gregory Clay next time.
Yeah.
I wish
Well said.
NLMB had Andrew Murray still, because I think that brought them kind of
Agreed.
another level.
Agreed. Andrew Murray was a phenomenal player. He was such a good player. He was 5th man of the year last year. I mean, he was incredible, and he came off the bench for them. And he was there. He was. Look, NLMB's good. They're a great team. They hit the 3 ball. They're really good. Alex Willis is a phenomenal defender. But I'm with Racine. Maybe they can get someone else a little more involved. I also want to give Kyle Cusano a shout out. He is someone who, anyone who's played in this league knows it. It's hard to come in this league when you play on 10 foot your whole life and learn how to shoot, especially when you're a shooter. And you could tell this guy was a good shooter on 10 foot because he just has that repeatable jump shot. And you could tell he couldn't really find it and figure it out. And he figured it out this game. He played a really, really good game. He was guarding Reggie most of the game. And he did a really good job. I got to give him credit. He played a really, really good... not Reggie, excuse me. Dante Hodge. He probably was struggling against Reggie. But he had a great game guarding Dante Hodge. And, I just want to give him a lot of credit. Like, Dante still did his thing, but he played a really, really good game out there. So shout out to Kyle Cusano. They got so many Italian names in this team. They got Kyle Cusano, Dom DeSimone, Angelo D'Amato. They got a
This
Greek.
is Greg Horne team, man.
Yeah, Aiden Petrius.
If Flint wasn't here, this would be Greg's favorite team. I already know.
Nah, facts. Snipe Squad's easily my number. Snipe Squad's like my side chick. That's my team.
I just want to say, man, on that Reggie mistake comment there, I haven't seen very many guys, if any, in this league that can actually guard Reggie. The only time I've heard Reggie even say something about somebody guarding him was when it was D.D. Washington guarding him, and I just remember him saying, "This dude's strong as fuck. I don't know what to do." And that was pretty
D.D.
much
was
it.
built like a brick wall.
That's the only one I remember Reggie even commenting on the way he was guarding him.
Yeah, and I mean, look, 2 teams that could use a Reggie of their own, and this next one is going to be Lux Gang versus the Syndicate, and talk about a choke job. Syndicate, I love you guys, but goddamn Syndicate, they scored 14 points in the second half. Maybe that's a stat error. Maybe that could be a stat error. But still, they did lose this game. They were up for most of this game. They were playing really good. I want to give a shout out to Mikey Fuller. He had a really, really, really good game, and he was on one foot.
Look like one.
He was on one foot.
Like a stat error.
It might not be. And look, I mean, it was rough for them. I mean, look, I don't know if you guys, Racine didn't see this game. I don't know if you want to take this in any direction, Chris, but Lux Gang, I want to give a shout out. They keep fighting every week, and Trevon Jones wasn't even here, their leading scorer. He's incredible, and he wasn't there. And then they had guys like Samal Grimsley and Tyler Edward. Hakeem Truart wasn't really shooting the ball well. He played great on the defensive end. Lux Gang is consistent. They win the games they need to. Look, they do their thing. I'm excited to see their playoff run, see if they can do something here and make an upset. I mean, Chris, you got anything on Lux Gang Syndicate?
I mean, I think you know what I'm going to say here. I am so disappointed in this Syndicate squad. Because I just remember all, off season, Alex Rivera was just posting, watch out for the Syndicate, we're coming. All these hype posts and all this stuff. And for them to have no wins at this point, it's just okay. I mean, it's tough. As you know, it's tough to win games in this league. But I just thought as a guy that had played in this league for probably, 3 or 4 seasons now, I thought that he would bring us something that would compete. You know what I mean? The way he was hyping it up. So I thought he would know enough. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I mean, shout out to Lux Gang for hanging in there, and really one of those games that prove that it's never over. You just got to keep fighting. And if you come out in the second half and play well, you could beat any of these teams. But yeah, it's more about how the Syndicate. It's more of a what the hell, you know what I mean? No disrespect to any of these guys on the roster, but it's just I mean, I feel like they'd agree. You shouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah, they have high expectations of themselves, and look,
we'll shout them out real
teams
quick.
close.
Sexy Lex, stay out of the other team's interviews because you can't even get your own. So I don't know.
I mean, look, I'll give the Syndicate this. They lost to TMC They lost TMC by 6 week 1. They got killed by the Street Ballers. They got killed by Snipe Squad. Let's see. Lord's Army smacked them. I mean, they played TMC well, which is crazy. NLNB, they only
Yeah,
lost by
TMC had
10.
4 players.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, they only lost to 10
Maybe that
to
was Joey's
NLNB.
fault.
I mean, look, this is my problem with the Syndicate right now is their last two games are against the Flint Tropics and against Get Money. So, I feel really bad because I think they're going to go winless, unfortunately. And I'm going to say this, not to spoil anything. The way the playoffs work this year, Syndicate, you guys are going to get a winnable matchup. Your round one game is going to be very winnable. I think they just need to keep doing their thing, work on some things, maybe, workshop maybe a little different game plan, a few defenses. Again, like I said, Mikey Fuller had a great game. And figure out what you can do in this one playoff game because you won't go win this if you win that playoff game. And then you can do the classic like, nah, we only try for big games. We don't even care about the regular season. So win that playoff game and then you got your whole thing. And then, I mean, hey, Lux Gang, again, do your thing, Lux Gang. Lux Gang has Street Ballers next week. That's a big test. And then Lux Gang will have Run TMC in the last week of the year. So, look, just keep pushing, get Trayvon Jones back, and look, hey, keep doing your thing. But we're going to go to the last game of the week, which was Street Ballers, Lord's Army. Another team that, we had high hopes for this season, Lord's Army, and they're struggling to find a few wins here. Street Ballers is a team that's trending in the right direction as well. Like Benji Valentine's playing amazing. Hoito Acosta and Joshua Mercado are just, they're beasts. I mean, Marquise Woods is hitting threes. I didn't see him hit a three, I don't think, the year prior ever. And he is just playing phenomenal. This Street Ballers team, they play scrappy, they're physical, and they're a very, very, very hard team to beat. They're one of those teams that, like Chris said, if they'll punch you in the mouth. Like, they're going to punch every team in the mouth. And Racine, I'm going to go to you. What did you see in this one for Lord's Army and Street Ballers?
Man, don't get these guys riled up because once you do, they're not backing down. I mean, the game was close for majority of the game, but then I think towards third, fourth quarter, Street Ballers ultimately pulled away. Like you mentioned, Benji Valentine, Huito Acosta, Josh Mercado, and I think Connor mentioned that he hadn't seen Marquise Woods hit a three like ever, and he went 3 for 3 in the game. So it helps when you got other people contributing. And as for Lord's Army, the first time I saw them, just my first year in the league, I thought they were like pretty decent, but I think that they play well, but I don't know. They just can't seem to be winning games. But keep your head up, keep fighting.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna go to Chris. It's like the classic. There's a classic line. Who said it? There's a rapper who said it. I'm trying to remember, but it's like when mental stability meets talent. And I feel like with some of these teams, they just don't like. They get in these moments and they just fold, just like me and Chris's teams used to fold. Shout out, light it up at Titans. Chris, what'd you see? What do you got for Lord's Army and Street Ballers?
Well, shout out to Street Ballers. I mean, like we were saying, Rico wasn't even there.
No Rico.
That's a
No
big
Rico.
one.
Street Ballers is coming. They take care of business.
They're a good team, man. It seems like they're coming together at the right time. That's a big win for them. Down one of their best players, I'd say. But we're gonna get into Lord's Army a little bit here. I don't know. It's just one of those things where you think this team with Jacob Morales, Jason Hernandez, some of these guys that Jay Velez, Randy Kahn, some of these guys are champions in this league, and I just you would think that they would be able to figure it out and win some of these closer games because that was a winnable game if you really look at the box score. But I'm gonna say it here. Jason Jay Yaga, another Yaga family guy, 4 for 13 in a winnable game. I expect better. I expect you to lock in come playoff time, and yeah, we can't have that on this team. You got to kind of be the guy that takes them to the next level. And 4 for 13 in a winnable game is. I don't know. You know me, man. I like calling these guys out because I like to hear their responses. I'm not afraid of it. So I want these guys, and any of the guys, honestly, that I've called out today in this podcast. I would love to see an interview at the end of the game next week of you being like, you know what, Chris? Screw you. Eat a crow. You were wrong once again, and it's fine. But I'm usually not wrong, as Greg knows. But yeah, that's the key to them is Jason Hernandez. I need more. You're a champion. You've been here. You're I mean, you should be one of the best shooters in the league. At least on 10. If this was on 10 foot, we'd be probably talking about him as one of the best shooters in the league. So that's what I need from them. He's got to step up if they're gonna make a run.
Yeah, and I mean, ironically, Lord's Army also ends the season against Get Money in Flint. So a rough draw for these teams.
Hey, that's why not prove it? That's a game. I mean,
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, Hernandez has played pro ball, man. I mean, why not?
Look,
Why can't they beat Get Money? Why can't they beat Flint?
Yep. In the words of Matt Fink, check rock. I mean, hey.
I don't want to hear about Czech Rock until they win the
In
championship.
the words of the great Matt Fink, check rock, man. But look,
I guess Matt Fink's never lost in this league, so
he's technically never lost. He wasn't there last year when they lost.
there's a couple. What's it? Basically, probably just him and Greg Langston that have never lost a game in this league.
Yep. Oh, great company to be in right there. And
Except
I mean, look,
Greg's got a championship, and
Greg does have a chip. Well, yeah, Greg won a chip and said I'm out. But I mean, look, we got some good games coming up. I mean, next week we got Run TMC, NLMB, and NLMB is going to be looking, they're going to be looking to get some revenge. Snipe Squad plays Enterprise Elite. Don't even know why I read that game. Then the week after that we got. All right, it's going to be. There's some of these games are. I mean, Snipe Squad Street Ballers will be a great Week 8 game. That'll be a good one. Besides that, there's going to be some rough games going forward, and that's going to shake up the standings a little bit. And it's like Chris said too. This is a good opportunity for a lot of these teams to get a big win and prove me wrong for looking at the schedule and being like, yeah, maybe chalk. But also, prove everyone wrong because, there's a big group of interns. Go up to Vinny and ask what he thinks of your team. I bet you he'll tell you exactly how he feels.
NLMB and TMC will be a good one because remember in the semis last season how Yagerville and NLMB was probably one of the best games we've seen in a while.
NLMB plays. They're a good team. They play everyone well. They're going to come out firing. But hey, this was a great post-game show. We got some great Legacy Leagues basketball coming up. And we can't wait for the playoffs, but, we'll let everyone get out of here and enjoy their Saturday because, I mean, why not? It's a beautiful day out depending on where you are. But, for me, Greg Horne, for Chris Rudzinski, for Racine over there, I hope you guys are doing good. Hope everyone's doing good. And we'll see you next week for hopefully another action-packed week. And, maybe there'll be a surprise next episode. Maybe there'll be a surprise. Yeah, maybe we'll get maybe Snipe Squad will win the finals. I'd be pretty happy about that. Maybe Enterprise Elite makes.
I'd just be happy to see one of these newer teams win the whole thing. It'd be kind of cool. Yeah,
it would be
Enterprise
cool.
Elite has this player that hasn't showed up all year on the roster that we don't know about.
Enterprise Elite picks up Greg Langston. You heard it here first. First reported. But for me, Greg, 3 rings in Racine. It's been a pleasure, everyone.
That kind of rhymed.